Hi there, welcome to the practice for this week on managing madness. My name is Brian and we're going to do a practice on what it's called Tibetan Yoga. It's called Kum Nye Tibetan Yoga, and there's a lot of explanation of what this practice is, but at the moment we're just going to jump into a practice, and if you'd like to learn more, I'm going to share a few links so that you can learn a little bit more about what this practice is all about. But at the moment what we're going to be working with is, as Cameron was mentioning on the videos for this week chapter, Mind over Madness, we are going to start understanding a little bit our feelings, starting to get out a little bit of our thinking mind, that is where most of us live on our daily lives, and we're going to start getting a little bit more into our bodies. So our bodies have the capability of feeling. So if I touch my arm, I have a feeling or a sensation, but I might be thinking about it or I might be actually experiencing it. What we're going to do today is very basic exercises that are exercises that have helped me a lot and that I always recommend for people because they can do it everywhere. So we're going to focus especially on the breath. We're going to focus on the throat and neck and shoulders area. And we're going to focus on turning our senses and our awareness inwards. So most of the time on our daily life, we are going outwards. Both our senses, our experience, our thinking, trying to get things from outside, where there's also an entire world inside, an entire universe inside. And most of us haven't learned how to even experience any of it. So what we're going to do first for the practice is that you can find yourself in a sitting position, whether it is on the floor with crossing your legs, and this depends on a little bit on your flexibility. I usually use a cushion beneath me to support me, but you can do it sitting on a chair. If you're sitting on a chair, make sure that you're sitting on the edge of the chair so that you're allowing your back to be tall. So both sitting on a chair or sitting on the floor, making sure that our backs are tall, but not straining ourselves. So if this becomes a little bit of too hard and very effort, then try to relax a little bit and then come back up. I always imagine that there's someone on the sky and they have a hook on top of my head and they are fishing me up. So that is what I imagine that keeps me up. And that makes that my entire stance is not from effort, but it's elongated. So what we're going to do now for the practice, once you find your seat, is we're going to take 3 deep exhales, letting go of everything that happened before this moment. So with me, first inhale, and then through the mouth, exhale. You can make a noise or a sound, or it can be silent. Again, deep breath, and exhale. Letting everything go. For the 3rd time, inhaling and exhaling. See if perhaps you need a couple more or not. And then you can choose to close your eyes or keep them open. And what we're going to do is we're going to start turning our attention inwardly. And we're going to start noticing how our inner landscape looks like at this moment. So just take a moment. I'm going to do the same. So just go in. You can close your eyes or keep them lightly open. If you keep them open, make sure that they are soft, that they are compassionate eyes, so that there's no energy going out. You're not trying to see anything that is outside. You're just allowing them to be soft and open. And going in, noticing what's happening inside. And instead of judging it or thinking about it, just try to experience it. Just try to understand, oh, perhaps there's a feeling on my arms, or there's a feeling on my legs. Perhaps a feeling on my belly or my chest. And without judging it, it's just noticing what's happening. So in the practice of Kum Nye, the way that we breathe is trying to breathe both through the nose and mouth at the same time, both inhaling and exhaling, but most people are not used to this way of breathing, so I encourage you to breathe a little bit more through your mouth. So the way of knowing if you're breathing through your mouth or not is if your mouth is open. If it's closed, you're not breathing through your mouth. So encourage that to allow the breath to go a little bit more towards your body. Try to make the breath go all the way down into your belly. Perhaps put your hands in your belly, noticing how it expands and then it condenses, and it expands and it condenses. And don't worry about the rhythm or the speed of your breath at this moment. Just allow it to be at whatever speed it's going. It can be very fast or it can be very slow. So I always like to start my practices of movement by opening the throat chakra. The throat chakra is the one that communicates between the chakras above and the chakras below. So I always like to keep that open. And one of the ways to keep it open is by moving this area and allowing the energy to start flowing there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to raise our shoulders as high as we can. So let's inhale and bring our shoulders up. Don't worry about your hands, they can be on your legs or they can be on the air. Make sure that you're breathing in and out so that your belly is not contracted. Allow it to be soft and gentle and relaxed. Allow your neck to be settled, your head to be settled in between your shoulders. So perhaps move it just slightly to make sure that it's relaxed. And see if you can go just a little bit higher with your shoulders. Once we are all the way up, we are slowly going to rotate our shoulders towards the back, keeping them high. So just a little bit towards the back, making sure that we go as far as we can. Depending on how you are usually in your daily life, this can be quite painful in the back. So what you have to do in this moment is just breathe in and out, allowing yourself to feel it without thinking, oh, it's painful. Just focus on what's happening in the feeling there. Breathing in and out, continuously. Then from your back, rotating your shoulders all the way down. Then all the way forward. One more time. Up as high as possible. Remember, the hands or the arms can be doing whatever they are doing as long as they are relaxed, that your belly is relaxed. We are moving slowly so that we are able to notice, because most of us are rushing through our days and through our lives. And we don't notice, we don't even stop to notice. Rotating your shoulders to the back, keep them up. All the way down. And forward. And one more time, up as high as possible. Sometimes when we think that we have reached our limit, if we stay there and we try to relax a little bit, we notice that we might be able to go just an inch or a centimeter or even a millimeter higher. Making sure that your head is settled between your shoulders, so if it's a little bit tight, just move it slightly. Go in with your shoulders all the way back. And down. And forward. And up as high as possible. And as slowly as you can, just allowing your shoulders to go down. So don't bring them down, just allow them to go down as if they are floating down just by gravity. And for a moment, notice what's happening in this area of the neck, throat and shoulders. And try not to move your head or neck. Just notice if there's anything happening. Without judging what it is that is happening, just noticing, oh, there's something happening. There might be a force that is making you want to move. That is wanting you to move your neck or your head. And that is usually our default. We try to get out of whatever it is that we are experiencing. And what we are trying to do in this practice is we are trying to allow ourselves to experience our feelings. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try to also move a little bit the head. So we're going to bring the head down, bringing our chin towards our chest. And very slowly bringing the chin up, with the chin looking to the sky or to your roof. all the time breathing in and out. One more time, slowly bringing the chin down towards the chest. Up towards the sky, slowly. One more time, down towards the chest. Up towards the sky for the last time. And down to your normal place of resting. So again, notice if there's anything happening in this area. If at any point you need to move slightly your feet or your legs, do it. If you can stay how you are, then that's good also. But if you need to move it a little bit, feel free to do it. Then we're going to bring the chin towards the chest. And we're going to move around. So we're going to make circles with our head very slowly. So always making sure that you're taking care of yourself. For some of us, sometimes moving especially towards the back, it's not very pleasant. So if that's the case, just make the movement shorter. Don't go all the way to the back. But also by going slowly, we're allowing ourselves to notice where there's any tightness. And if I find, for example, that there's some tightness, I just move slightly and gently back and forth and trying to relax that area that might be tight. And then continuing . And the next time that your chin is down, switch direction. You can go slower than the speed I'm going, or you can go faster. Just go at your own speed. All the time remembering breathing in and out, the continued flow. We want the breath to flow in and out constantly. The next time that your chin is down, just bring yourself up to your normal place. And for a moment, if you want to have your eyes closed, go in. Turn your senses and your awareness and your attention inwardly. So these are very basic movements, as you notice, but they can help us be more relaxed in our daily life. We can do them anywhere. We can do them standing, sitting. If we work in an office, we can do it at our desk. If we are driving, we can do them whenever we are stopped at a red light. Most of us carry too much tightness and tension around this area. So by making these movements of opening, making the movements with the head and the shoulders, it starts allowing that energy to move instead of being stuck. And that's the beginning of how we need to move our energy. Just being aware on your day, just to take a few moments to do this. And turning inwardly your attention, your awareness, your senses. See if you need to perhaps move a little bit more your shoulders or your head, and if not, just stay here with me, trying to stay still and breathing in and out. What we're going to do now is, if you want to close your eyes, we are going to imagine that in the middle of your head, in the center of your head, there is this little pebble or rock. And in a moment when I count to 3, you're going to allow it to drop from the center of your head into the center of your heart. So 1, 2, 3. Drop it from the center of your head to the center of your heart. This could be a metaphor, but also energetically. You're moving where your awareness is from your head to your heart. This is the place from where we want to experience our life. And the more that we understand how to feel, how to be in the body, and how to shift our awareness from the head towards the heart, we are going to be living a different kind of life. I know it from my own experience, and I encourage you to try it. Don't take my word for what it is. Just try to see what happens if you do this every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes per day. try to experience whatever it is that is happening. Feel what's happening. Perhaps if you're sitting like me, you can feel what's happening with your feet and your legs, that you haven't moved them in a while. And in the next practices, we're going to do some more movement practices with the arms and the legs. But for now, just starting basic. Very simple movements that you can do anywhere at any time. We're going to finish this practice with a closing gesture. And for this gesture in Kum Nye, we bring our hands up until we interlock them and touching our forehead in a gesture of sealing the practice, so we can take it with us. Then we switch the lock, again touching the forehead, in a gesture of dedicating the merit or the positive energy of this practice that can be done to a person, a group of people, a situation, or to all sentient beings. Then we open the arms in a grand big gesture of giving and receiving until the hands go back, touching our knees or legs. And then we bring our hands together in front of our heart and we bow in a gesture of appreciation and gratitude. So thank you for taking part of this practice, and I hope that together we can start understanding a little bit more our inner universe and start shifting a little bit our awareness from the head to the heart, to be able to be more relaxed in our daily lives, not allowing ourselves to get so caught up and underwhelmed with whatever is happening. So keep on being part of this conversation and please share your experience. Ask any questions that you might have and continue every week to listen and to do the practices. So thank you and I see you next time. Bye.